Marsh lets his love of fire and his boys kind of get in the way of starting a family with Amanda. I'm not sure if you have that same passion for acting as Marsh did for his job.
No.
But if you had to, if you had to give this up, what would you be doing?
I mean, I do have a passion for acting, but not when I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been doing it a lot longer than Marsh was a firefighter. You know, I've been doing it for decades. So.
Right.
What would I be doing? There's a lot of things I'd be doing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I was planning on doing other than acting. There was one point where I wanted to be a chef. There was one point I wanted to be a lawyer. There's one point, you know, I mean, I have a lot of different interests, which is the only reason why I do this. I think acting is kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, when you're able to do a role like this, then it becomes very personally satisfying, especially when people see it who are first responders or firemen who were portraying, and they feel that we did them justice. That's major kudos for us, and it's, you know, but you know, if I were, you know, I mean, I've been involved with the firefighting community for a very long time, and much longer than I've been involved with this movie, and I know a lot of those firefighters said you got in the wrong profession. So would I like to think that? Sure. Do I think it's a reality? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like doing a lot of different things,
Yeah.
which is why I do what I do.
There you go. Being an actor, you can be a firefighter and a lawyer.
You have 6 months here, you have 6 months there, you may have 9 months there, and I enjoy that very much.
Great. And as a firefighter, I did read an article that the hotshots never worried about not coming home. So as in your experience as well as a firefighter, where do you think that bravado comes from?
I don't know if I've ever heard that. I mean, maybe it's a quote that I hear or I don't agree with, or maybe I just misheard it.
Yeah.
But I think that they're all very aware the fact that something can happen, and that there's all, but if you dwell on it, that's the thing I understand. You're not going to dwell on it, because if you're constantly putting yourself in this kind of fearful, frenetic buzz, then you're thinking about that, and you're not thinking about the task at hand. And you can't think of anything else but what's going on in front of you when you're a fireman. It's like you can't think of anything else in war.
Right.
That's just the deal. You know, and if you are, then you're kind of half present, and you're not going to be able to do what you're there to do. So, you know, I think these guys are very realistic, but I just think to dwell on it is unproductive.
Yeah. It's like keep thinking, I'm going to mess this up, I'm going to mess this up. You're
Yeah.
actually going to mess it up.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just one of the, you attract the thing that you want to avoid. Yeah.
Putting it out in the
Yeah,
universe.
exactly.
You attended the premiere last night, and it looked
did.
beautiful. It looked more like a memorial tribute than anything. How did it feel being
It
in
was
that
both.
atmosphere?
It
Yeah.
was a celebration. It was a celebration of all these guys, and it's also a celebration of the guys who live and who are presently doing it and who have done it, and it's also the people who have lost their lives doing it. You know, there was something very honest about it, which I loved. It didn't feel very put on. It
Very
felt, you know what I
alleged.
mean? It felt honest. And we're going to Phoenix, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to Denver, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to Nashville, and we're going to, so, you know, I think for people to be appreciated is always a nice thing, even people who are demure. I think once it happens, I think they're like, thank you for thinking of us, you know? And I love being a part of that. It's not just to get to people to see the movie. I think we were interested in this. I think it shows in the movie.
No, it does.
You know, we could totally sensationalize it, you know, and have a big monster come in or something, you know what I mean? But we don't. I think it's fairly, it feels fairly honest to me.
That's what I was saying in the other room. I was like, this movie actually builds up to the event itself, the tragedy itself, instead of doing the aftermath and making a big drama out of it.
Right.
Do you think that one way is better than the other way to portray an event like this?
I think our intention was to portray it in the way that you just said, honestly, without dwelling on something. It's, you know, like I would liken it to Las Vegas, you know. Las Vegas, those people's lives aren't defined based on that tragedy. Their lives are their lives, and then that's a tragedy that happened, a horrible, horrible tragedy that took their lives. And it's the same thing with these guys. It's celebrating who they were as a community, and then this awful thing happened at the end of that, or in this one circumstance and situation. So it's obviously there to mourn, but there's a lot of stuff to celebrate.